Hey, so this episode, let's have some fun and let's explore the difference between wealthy people and broke people. Hey guys, Randy Gage here. Welcome to another episode of Prosperity TV. And as I said, I want to explore the differences between these two groups of people. People who are broke and people who are wealthy. Now, I want to make it really clear right up front. I'm not doing this to be judgmental, to catch people, to shame people. I'm doing this because I'm uniquely qualified to do it because I was a broke person for the first 30 years of my life on this planet. And I have been able to transform myself into a wealthy person. And I certainly learned a lot of lessons along the way. And those are some of the lessons I try to share with you guys on Prosperity TV here every week. But this particular show, I think let's go a little in depth and look at some of the habits and the behaviors and the mindsets and what are the differences. And again, I'm going from my personal experience, when what I did, how I acted when I was broke, and how I act or what's the difference now. So let's talk about that. So what do broke people do? Well, in my case, I always affirm problems. In other words, if you told me, hey, we could try this to make, oh no, let me tell you why that didn't work. That's why this won't work. If you came to me with any opportunity, I could give you chapter and verse on why that was a bad idea, why that wouldn't work, how the system was rigged, how things were against us, how only the rich people are able to do that, or the super educated people are able to do that. So as a rule, I think that's kind of a general trend. Broke people affirm problems and wealthy people seek solutions. Big difference there. Next thing I noticed as I look back and I analyze it, I say when I was broke, I always wanted to be paid for my time. You know, are we paid by the hour for this? Are we getting overtime for this? Now that I'm wealthy, I never want to be paid by my time. I only want to be paid by my results. Why? Because I think the thing you learn when you start to create wealth is the way you do that is you practice leverage, right? You've got to escape the trap of trading hours for currency. And in my case, I have companies hire me to redo their marketing campaigns and design their systems and their structures. And the fact that I can do something, I might get paid $75,000 to write a booklet, right? And I might be able to do that in 5 hours or 6 hours. So I don't want to get paid by the hour. What I want to get paid for is the fact that I developed the expertise and the skill over the years so that I can just sit down and channel a booklet like that. Wealthy people want to get paid on results because we're always looking for how can we put the concept of leverage to work. Broke people want to be employees. They believe there's security from that. They've got a boss, guarantees them a job, they feel. They know they're going to get a paycheck every 1st and 15th or every Friday. Wealthy people, we don't want to be employees. We want to be entrepreneurs because we see a boss or a job as a limitation and a lack of security. Whereas somebody who's broke might see a paycheck as security. A wealthy person will say, that paycheck is a threat to my security because if I count on that paycheck every Friday and then the boss fires me for whatever reason, now I've lost my security. So big difference there. Broke people spend. Wealthy people invest. Now that doesn't mean we don't buy nice things. You guys know I'm a fashion maven. I love clothes. I love cars. I love art. You see my latest artwork behind me there. So we buy things, but we buy things in a prudent way because we're always looking for, hey, what should I be investing my money in? How do I invest my money so it's making more money for me? How do I wake up tomorrow wealthier than I am today when I go to sleep? How can I put my money to work for me? Next thing, so how many we got? Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So I got 6 things. So number 6 is broke people buy a lot of entertainment, and wealthy people buy a lot of education. I'm always going to seminars, taking courses, buying albums, devouring books. I can't even tell you how many books I buy in a month. It's a crazy number. And I'm reading all that because I'm educating myself. I want to learn new skills. I want to develop more wisdom. I want to gain more knowledge because those things allow me, they take me closer on the path of enlightenment, closer on the path of where I want to be. So I'm voracious devouring, in terms of devouring education. And I think you see that a lot with wealthy people. And if we looked at what are the top 5 movies top 10 movies in America right now as I'm filming this, I probably saw one of them. Broke people. There's a lot of broke people I know. They've seen all 10 for 10 of the top big movies out there right now. I don't have time. I'm out there making a living. I'm doing things. I'm going after my dreams. So there's ones, if it's a really cool, I'm a sci-fi guy, so if it's a Star Wars opening or a Star Trek opening or a Matrix, I'll be there on opening night. I'll be there at midnight for the preview showing. But the other ones, I'm going to catch them on a plane on my way back when I'm flying back from somewhere where I got downtime anyway, because I appreciate entertainment, but I really value education. And the last thing I think is really important is broke people validate systems, limitations. They validate the limitations to the system, right? And if you didn't see it, go back and watch that old show I did about, it's called When Things Are Stacked, When It's Rigged Against You. Because the truth is, the system is rigged against most people, right? It's a good old boy network, but it always goes back to that choice. Do you want to be a victim? Do you want to be a victor? So if you're a victim, you say, oh, look at all you got to have money to make money. You got to get in at the top. You got to know people. You got to have the right education. You got to have the right ethnicity. You got to have the right last name. There's a million reasons. Whereas wealthy people, we don't buy into that. We say, okay, if the platform isn't there for me, I'm going to create my own platform. So if nobody wants to hire me as a director to do a documentary because of my heritage or my age or my religion, I'm just going to get a iPhone and I'm going to create my own documentary, right? Nobody will give me a radio show. I'm going to develop my own radio show. Nobody will give me a TV show. I'll create my own TV show. Because the fact is, with technology today, the barrier to entry is so accessible to everyone. If you really have a dream, if you really have a desire, you don't worry about what are the limitations of the platform. You say, I'm going to find another platform, or I'm going to create my own platform. So that's my thoughts on the differences between being broke and being wealthy. And again, I don't say this to be judgmental. I've spent the last 30 years studying the science of prosperity and how we manifest it. And a couple of resources I think will help you. One free, one if you want to invest in it. Free one, I don't know if you know, but I have started a podcast. It's called the Power Prosperity Podcast. So look for that on whatever podcast platform you like. We're on Google Music, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Statcast, Outcast, Stitcher, like 10 of them. So you can find it. It's out there. Power Prosperity Podcast with Randy Gage. And I'm putting up about 3 shows a week, and we're putting the audio version of this show, Prosperity TV, every Monday. We put that on the podcast for you guys who want to listen in the car or on the treadmill or whatever. And then the other thing I'd recommend, the Midas Mentality Program. This is a 30-day multimedia program that I created to help you transform the way you think. As we've just demonstrated, when I was broke, I thought in certain ways, certain habits, certain patterns. And to change your results, you've got to change the way you think. And that's what the Midas mentality is. It's audio, video, workbooks, everything. And it's a 30-day program. So you actually work for a month on it every day, step by step, to take that 4 weeks to create a new way of thinking for yourself. So I don't want to pitch on it. If you're interested, go to randygage.com. Just go to the website, check it out, and see. But I believe that's a resource. That's one of my really in-depth, information-dense resources in terms of changing the way you think and creating more prosperous results in your life. So that's my take on it. You got any other things you'd suggest about the difference between broke people and wealthy people? If you do, please put them down in the comments. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Peace. All right, so remember, podcast is out there. Power Prosperity Podcast. Check it out, and I'll see you guys with a new show next Monday.